Welcome to the first interview of my book launch, Love Out Loud, and I'm really excited to introduce you to the first special guest, if you haven't already guessed who he is. But before he reveals himself, I have a story that I want to share with you, and that's how he came to be the special guest for chapter 1, which is belief. And that was when I was sitting down and I was mapping out, okay, who's going to be all of my chapters, who really personifies each of these chapters and embodies the concepts. And I had 2 to 9 mapped out, and 1 was just still a mystery to me. And as I was sitting there contemplating, I get a phone call. I look at my phone and I'm like, oh my God, I haven't seen this favourite human of mine in basically 2 to 3 years. I pick up the phone, I just got back from a rural community and I had no reception in the community, and he says, oh my God, Gibby, it's me, I'm on the Gold Coast, what are you doing? And I was like, so funny that you call me right now, because I'm on the Gold Coast too for the first time in ages, plus I haven't seen you, plus this is what I'm doing right now, and I think you're meant to be the person that I'm interviewing for chapter 1. And of course it is Tommy Franklin, who you may remember from Australia's Got Talent, or just the social media sensation he is. Or if you're an international jet setter, you may also remember him from Barcelona Beach Festival, where he shredded up the D floor as per usual. Or Byron Bay locals, you probably just know Tommy Franklin for being the salty rain superstar that he is. Tommy, I'm really happy that we're here together.
Same.
Today, and it's been a journey, our friendship.
It's been a big journey. It's been a good journey.
It's been an amazing journey, specifically when we think about belief as an ideology for life, right?
Yeah.
And I would actually really love to tell these guys the whole story of our friendship.
Sure. Okay, go.
Yeah,
go for
cool.
it. Go for it.
So I first saw you on TV dancing on Australia's Got Talent on your audition.
Yeah.
And I turned to my friend at the time when we were watching together and I said, I'm going to work with that guy one day. And they sort of laughed like, yeah, okay, sure. So fast forward 12 months and I'm sitting in a boardroom with the directors of the not-for-profit I started, the Rogan Rouge Foundation, and we were having a brainstorm about ambassadors who we really thought would be great for the organisation. And your name came up and I had a missed call when I left the meeting. And I walk out of the boardroom.
That's crazy. I
call you back and I'm like, hey, I just had a missed call from this number. Who is it? And you were like, oh, hey, it's Tommy Franklin. And I was like, get out of town. And you were like, yeah, it's Tommy Franklin. I was just looking you up and I really love what you do. And I think we should jam. And I said, you know what, I'm holding a staff retreat in Byron Bay. Why don't you come and hang out? Next minute, having a dance party at my staff retreat.
Yeah, we were.
Yeah, we were. Fast forward 3 years and now...
Wow.
Here we are. And the reason, Tommy, and I just want to take a minute to just acknowledge you and why I've chosen you to be the special guest for chapter 1. And that's every time we hang out, I love how you remind me that magic is possible. And how belief just runs through your veins. And I'm really excited to jump into this kind of chat. Call it an interview, call it a hangout, call it making magic, 2 friends making magic and inspiring. Hopefully all of the viewers that watch this to believe in something maybe greater than they've dared to believe in before. And I guess the first question I have for you, Tommy, is what does it even mean to you? What comes to mind when you hear the word belief?
Far out. Well, there's many different mystical, magical rabbit holes that we can fall down. You know, we got to walk through life on a plank, pretty much. Watch that rabbit hole, watch that rabbit hole, watch that rabbit hole. The world is a minefield of rabbit holes.
Some good, some bad?
Some good, some bad. People get lost in rabbit holes, whether they're good or bad.
Yeah.
But belief, for me, like there's different kind of topics of belief. There's self-belief, there's belief in your path, there's belief in what you deem to be real outside this exterior
flesh.
Yeah, like
the
spiritual supernatural realm.
Yeah.
So,
and do you feel like this idea of belief and your beliefs as a person, do you feel like they've changed throughout your journey?
Of course.
Yeah. And that's what I'm really wanting to dive into is...
Well, I think, like, for me, things with my belief, like, there's... Okay, so you got self-belief, belief in your path.
Yeah.
Or the supernatural, spiritual belief.
Yeah.
Yeah? Or nothing. For the people that...
Don't.
What is it? Atheists? Yeah.
Yeah.
Each to their own. So, my self-belief started with my self-conditioning. And my self-conditioning was, I'm not smart.
Pretty powerful belief to have about yourself. And this is going back to...
This is going back to when I was a child, yeah?
Paint the picture, okay.
So when I was a little boy, I was in... Beardless.
Yeah.
Believe it or not.
Did you still have the moves?
I've always had the moves, babe. Yeah. Thanks to Ma and Pa teaching me how to wiggle and giggle in the lounge room. That was my dance class. just need one session, you're set for life.
Yeah, right. Tommy Franklin.
The freedom and the happiness. So, apart from the freedom and the happiness, I thought that I wasn't smart. It was my self-belief, my self-conditioning from the words that was said to me by my teachers. So I did after schooling for my whole primary school and high school years. So that belief that I wasn't smart was quite strong.
Yeah.
Then you've got the whole, like, I was a bit shy. I was still a little bit weird, but like,
no way.
Yeah.
No way.
You have no idea.
Yeah.
No, but like, so I guess I was picked on, so I wasn't really popular, and people said nasty things to me. As people do in high school, like, kids are mean, you know what I mean? You got cute little 3-year-olds that are so adorable that will happily walk up to you and kick you in the shins, you know what I mean? And smack you in the crotch, and you're like, oh, I still love you, but oh my gosh, I'm in a lot of pain.
Totally.
Yeah, so there was that as well. So kids were mean to me. And so I'm like, why are people being so mean to me? It must be because X, Y, and Z.
So you made those beliefs about yourself.
Self-conditioning. Yeah. Yeah, I conditioned myself.
So you took what was it wasn't fact. It wasn't fact. No. It was your...
It was fear. It was false. Fear is false evidence appearing real. It was my fear that dominated my world. That I wasn't accepted, that I wasn't loved. I was not necessarily loved. I was loved by my mum and my dad, but I wasn't accepted by my peers. I wasn't cool.
Yeah.
And
it's totally not true. False evidence appearing real. Right.
Yeah. And I wasn't likable.
Yeah.
And so, like, I was really upset about myself. Like, why am I this crap? Why am I this crap version of a human being? Why can't I be like that awesome version of a human being?
Yeah. So is comparison a big part of your life?
Yeah. And that's such a bad nego headspace to be in. Being like, oh, I'm a crap human.
Yeah.
I wish I could be like that person, which is amazing, but I'll never be that person.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That sucks. Just so you know, I might cry a couple of times throughout this interview, but that's okay.
I love your vulnerability.
I like crying.
Yeah.
Thanks, babe.
That's okay.
I like
It's
yours
sexy,
too.
actually.
A man that's vulnerable.
Yeah, it is. Take
Okay,
note. Take
here comes the
take
sexiness.
Okay, so where were you living? Where were you living?
I was living on the Central Coast with my mother, my father, and my sister.
Yep.
Jill, Bill, and Jill.
Really?
Yeah, Jill, Bill, Jill, and Tom.
Yeah. Why not Bill?
Well, so here's side note, family history.
Yeah.
My sister's name is Jill, named after my mother.
Yeah.
My sister's middle name is Jennifer, named after okay, here we go. This is really intense. Here we go. Okay, my mum named... No, start off with me. I came first, yeah? Sorry, sis. So, I came first. Tommy. My dad's brother was Tommy. Tommy was a legend. Tommy unfortunately died. Dad named me Tommy. Then, my middle name is Leonard. Leonard was my mother's father's name. Yeah,
so
Thomas
sense.
Leonard Franklin is my name.
Great name.
Thank you.
Name.
Strong name.
Strong name.
Leonard means Lionheart as well.
I love that.
Rar. And then my sister came along, Jillian, after my mum, and then Jennifer, my mum's sister's name. And then, so it was just like...
Right. So it is connected.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you weren't totally
We are all
outcast
connected
with Tom.
in the circle of life.
True, yeah. Generally, with everything.
Yeah,
if you believe
Lion
that.
King. It's all about the vibe. Marbo, the castle.
Okay.
Moving on. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen.
So wait, Central Coast. You had all these belief systems. So, to premise how beliefs are explored in the book, one of the things I talk about is how the brain always aims to prove itself right. So if you think you're not good enough, you're going to wake up in the morning and say to yourself, I'm not good enough. And then everything from then on, your brain is looking for evidence to prove itself right. Yeah. So you will focus on the situations that are validating that belief system.
Yeah.
But when you start to change your belief system, you start to think, I'm actually awesome, you're going to find evidence of that reflected back to you. As you went through your journey, because I'm assuming at some point something happened.
Yeah.
And your belief systems about yourself started to change.
Yeah.
To become the inspiring human being that you are today. Tell me about that. What were some of the things that started to happen later on in your life that started to take you out of that, I guess, that space that you were in?
Mind frame.
Yeah, your frame of mind. And things started to change for you.
Okay, so... So my self-belief system...
Yeah.
Screw the system, by the way. Screw the Nego self-belief system. So that got really bad by the end of high school. And I just wanted to be in the ground. And I was smoking pot for breakfast, lunch and dinner. And as some of us did back in the day. And I started going to this church. And I just...
How old were you then?
To this youth group. I was 19. I just graduated high school like a year ago.
On the Central Coast?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there were these really nice chicks that used to go there, and they called me Thomas. And I really liked it because the only time I ever heard my name Thomas was when I was in trouble at home or at school. Thomas! But they were saying, hello, Thomas. Like these young babes my age. Like, I didn't hang out with babes. I hung out with my mates in the streets 24/7. And so that was really nice. And then I had my accident.
What brought you to the church?
There was this guy that I used to work with. And he just like told me about he had mates with break dancers and stuff like that. It was a cool youth group. And I didn't have many friends.
Yeah.
And so I was amazed. Well, I've got nothing to lose, really. You know, I went to Sunday school when I was a kid. How bad could it be? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'd never.
Did you feel like there was resistance from the people you were hanging out with?
I never really had a bad experience with church.
Yeah.
I have had bad experiences with churches.
Since then?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I stopped going to church probably when I was about 26. I go every now and then sometimes.
Yeah.
But like I religiously, went, you know, like I'd go to 2 or 3 times a week, like, you know, different meetings and, like, you know what I mean, hanging out, let's talk about this chapter. Like, it was all good. It wasn't necessarily a bad experience, but I have had bad experiences. Moving on, I started going to this church, and it was really nice and really friendly and loving. And it was the first time I experienced loving kindness.
Tell me about that.
Okay, good topic. So, I never really experienced loving kindness unless someone wanted something from me. You know, like, people would come in and they'd be really nice to me, but then I would let my guard down, and then they'd take.
Yeah.
And that hurt. They really hurt me. And so I didn't trust people. And I started to learn to trust people again, and it was really beautiful.
Yeah.
You know? And it's like these people weren't nice to me because they wanted my money, because I had none. You know? I'm some ex-junkie off the street, swearing like a sailor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I was pretty rancid, rabid, hardcore, gnarly into my death metal type kid, my gangster rap. Like, I wasn't this happy little yay guy that I am now.
Yeah.
You know, I still have, that is still a part of me.
Of course.
You know what I mean? There's many different Tommies. There's many different Nicoles. There's many different yous out there.
Many.
Yeah?
And that's okay. Because, all your parts are okay.
Exactly. Like, you need to nurture your hurting self. You know, you need to accept your angry self and be like, look, you need some love, bro. Take a seat. Do you want some water? No, don't kill that person. Don't smash that thing.
Yeah.
Just
so
breathe,
acceptance.
bro. Yeah. And so I started to accept myself.
But that love, like, tell me how that impacted your belief systems, experiencing that for the first time.
It made me love myself. You know, like, I realised that I was lovable. You know, outside of my home, outside of Jill, Bill and Jill, I realised that I was lovable. And that was really nice.
Yeah.
You know, these strangers, like, they're just seeing me for who I am.
Yeah.
And so if they're liking me for who I am, I can't be that bad. But since I was this big, I've been telling myself that I'm bad, that I'm no good, that I'm dumb, that I'm not likable.
Yeah.
You know?
So that love challenged your belief systems that you had about yourself.
Big time.
And it started to change the way that you
massively
talk to yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. And I naturally became a better person.
Yeah.
You know?
So you just said before that you had an accident just after you started going to church. What happened?
So, before I became a better person, I happily went to the club 3 times a week and got violently drunk and ill and ran amok.
And do you think that was like a reflection of how you felt about
yourself? It was a reflection
yourself?
of my pain. It was just me, like, you know, my dad calls it escaping the pressures of modern day living.
Yeah, okay.
You know, like, I was just escaping the pressures of modern day living, yeah?
Yeah.
And I never truly escaped. No one ever truly does the pressures of modern day living because it's all around us. It's about dealing.
Yeah.
It's not escaping. You will never escape. It's about dealing with it, yeah?
And do you think love is a crucial ingredient in really knowing how to deal with it?
Massive.
Yeah.
Massive, crucial ingredient.
So your accident.
So my accident, thank you.
Yeah.
I go down, there's many different rabbit holes in here, yeah? She can see me going, like, my eyes are zigzagging left to right down the rabbit holes.
Yeah. So good, we've got time.
Come back to me, Franklin. Come back to me, Franklin.
Yep.
So, accident, yeah? I'm going to this church, you know, hanging out with the babes, you know, hanging out with these cool break dancers, experiencing loving kindness. It's grouse. I love it. But I'm going to the club 3 times a week.
Oh, whilst you were at church.
Yeah.
So there was an incongruence there with what you were awakening to, but also running away from your pain.
Yeah. It's like, it's not like you step into a church and it's like, oh my gosh, I'm a brand new person. Yeah. Like, they call it born again, but, like, you know what I mean? Like, our scars will be on our body for the rest of our life. You know what I mean? We can still change on the inside, but that's a process.
Of course. Which we can get into.
Yeah. Which I'm getting into. Yeah. Here we go, down the rabbit hole.
And just a side note of that, the reason this is chapter 1, because I started to write this book after a really significant heartbreak.
Yeah.
And chapter 1 is belief. So this book for me was about healing myself.
Yeah.
And sharing that process with you guys and with the people I love. And belief was a really crucial part of that as chapter 1, because you have to believe that it's possible to change in order for change to happen.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I want to know how this accident impacted that journey for you.
It was one of the most significant moments in my life. So I'm going to church and I'm still trying to run away from my pain. And I used to talk to this girl, Megan. Hey Megan, if you're listening. Out front of the church, and I'd smoke my cigarettes and tell her all about my crazy week. While everyone played dodgeball or, some cool thing.
Yeah.
And she knew who I really was. The little wannabe gangster drug dealer. And she prayed that God would do something in my life to pull me closer to my faith. 2 days later, like that night, she went home, prayed this prayer. 2 days later, I'm like full suicidal. Put my helmet on. We'd had a big skull and crossbones on it, symbolised death, and that's the only reason why I put it on. I never used to put my helmet on, ever. It was the only day of the year I put my helmet on.
Yeah. So do you feel like you were chasing that?
I didn't mind if I was in a hole in the ground. I didn't mind if I died. Yeah.
And was that just your pain?
Life, fully, big time.
Yeah. It's not knowing how to resolve it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I put this helmet on, and so on my driveway, I used to watch for the cars to my left because I could see them coming down the hill. And I lived on a crest of a hill. And I'd listen for the cars grunting it up the hill to my right. Like buses used to scream up that hill.
Yeah.
You had to give it some to get up it. And my driveway went onto that hill.
Yeah.
And I just Russian roulette. And I 50-50'd it with this helmet. I'm like, I got a helmet on, how bad could it be?
Yeah.
Went down this driveway, I'm doing about 30. Car's doing about 80. That's about 110 impact on my right knee. My helmet...
front on collision?
Yeah, front on head on collision. Straight.
And it got
30, I'm doing 30, come down the bottom of my driveway, there's a car doing 80. Bang!
Yeah.
My knee, snap the wrong way. My right kneecap is, at this moment, and since that day, been half the size of my left kneecap.
And you're a dancer.
And I'm a dancer. I've got bolts and screws in here. Like, it's pretty Niles Barkley. If you ever want to feel it when you see me next, just up politely and you can touch
Hear that offer, ladies?
touch these bolts and screws in here. Hey, ladies. Oh, yeah. But, I bounced off the bonnet. And my neighbour, she saw it. And, when my mum told her I was in intensive care,
safety.
That's right. Okay, so I come walking out of my house and I'm like, stuff it. I'm just gonna risk it. And I put my headphones in, and there's this song called "Sick" by Slipknot, and it's really intense and psycho. And the first lyrics of this song is "Here comes the pain." That's the first words that are said in this song. And as I'm listening to this song, I'm supposed to be listening for cars coming up the hill, but I'm like, stuff it. I'll just risk it. Russian roulette style. But I copped the bullet.
Yeah.
And I went flying through the air when my mum saw me. So I was like 110 impact on my knee. I think I said that earlier. This is a little retake before because we had some technical difficulties, but it's all good. It happens. AKA SH. It happens. So here we are. Smashed up. My neighbour didn't believe my mum when my mum told her I was in intensive care. She had to come in with her psychiatrist to believe that I was still breathing. And after that,
did you have amnesia when you woke up? Did you remember?
I remember having flashes of it, like my life flashed before my eyes and stuff. Like, I remember all
Just
that.
like they say.
But I can't, like
memories from childhood all the way through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was nuts. And
then you woke up in hospital.
Then I woke up in hospital.
Who was there when you woke up?
Mum and Dad came and visited. So, my dad was there when I woke up. And, it was like pretty intense. But I was there, I was in intensive care for about 18 days.
Yeah.
And,
not knowing whether or not
knowing whether I'd walk again. And so they started feeding me this radioactive nuclear waste out of the microwave. And I was just like, I'm not eating this crap.
On what pretense? So like,
well, it was just hospital food. The food in hospitals is really poor quality.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's no love that goes into it. And so like I was like, I don't want to eat this food. Like, you know, I was very ungrateful. You could say I was an ungrateful little thing. And they were weaning me off the grade A heroin, aka morphine, that I was just tapping out on whenever I came back to reality. Come out. Right.
How was the pain when it was?
My knee was legitimately the size of. So you know when you sprain your ankle and it puffs up, my knee after being snapped the wrong way, and all bone and shit. Like my kneecap consisted of grafted shin bone and staples, and I've got a big bolt in my shin with a bit of plastic in there holding that together. I've had both the knees. I've had this knee operated on. This knee snapped sideways.
Was that in the accident?
No, this is different. So this leg went like snap that way, and my kneecap round to the left before. Yeah. No, this one. So this one dislocated many times before this accident, and then it dislocated more after this accident.
Yeah.
And then I got this one operated on after this one a few years later.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So during your rehabilitation, after you got out of intensive care, this was like, had you drawn the correlation between like what Megan had said about like I pray that?
Well, she didn't tell me this.
Yeah.
She didn't tell me that she prayed that God would do something in my life to pull me close to my faith until like 3 or 4 years later.
Oh wow!
Like or 2 years later, like something crazy.
Did you have some sort of feeling where you were like, "This is an intervention"?
Oh, of course, 100%. Like I called up my dealer down the bottom of the street.
Yeah.
And he was waiting for me.
Yeah.
And then the next thing you know, like cops and ambulances are pulling up out front of my house.
Yeah.
And
so that's where you were on your way.
Then I'm on full blood on the road.
Yeah.
Like my whole back, I bounced, like a baseball. Helmet, crack. Shoulder, crack. Collarbone, gone. 3 ribs, crack. Almost punctured my left lung. Seriously bruised it.
Yeah.
With my ribs cracked.
Yeah.
And then bounce, slide on my back. My whole back was a scab. And my knee, your knee goes like that. My knee could go, woo!
Fuck. So you were obviously in a really dark place in the days, weeks, even years leading up to that accident.
Yeah.
Were the darkest days yet to come during your rehabilitation? Or did that mark the beginning of, I guess, a transformation to a different set of belief systems towards life and of yourself?
Okay, so I was... No, completely different. So, I was suicidal. And I didn't mind if I wasn't here anymore. And so, it's so intense talking like that, and I'm really sorry.
No,
so...
This is a powerful story.
Thank you.
And the reason I want you to go there for you guys is because the power of hitting that rock bottom and then the power that it takes to shift the belief systems that you have around yourself and your reality and what life is capable of being after something like that. Like, I want to know what the process was. So you had 18 days in intensive care, but I've heard you say that 8 months was that process of rehabilitation. What was that like for you?
Okay, well, ultimately it was nice.
Yeah.
Because I had support. Because I was becoming vulnerable.
So that was a key.
Because I wasn't vulnerable. I was hard, I was hard from being so hurt. And I didn't trust people, and I didn't let people in, and I didn't share my shit.
Yeah.
I didn't cough up stuff that needed to be coughed up. I just held it all in and told people I was sweet. Lied through my teeth.
And that was the same even when you started going to church. Even
Well,
you had experienced love then.
Yeah,
you weren't ready to actually be vulnerable and.
Yeah, well, people at church definitely helped, you know.
It was the beginnings of the transformation.
Yeah. But it was loving kindness. So there was this guy that used to steal cars for a living.
Yeah.
That used to fold up my wheelchair, pick me up, and put me in his car.
Yeah.
And take me to church, take me to youth group.
Yeah.
Like he was in his mid to late 20s.
Yeah.
And I was 19. And, you know what I mean? He was a bit hardcore. I was a bit hardcore. We got along.
Yeah.
And we'd go and smoke cigarettes, and he introduced me to coffee. You know what I mean? I never drank coffee until I was 19.
Yeah.
And then we'd hang at Macca's till early hours in the morning talking about life.
Yeah. Was this still at the Central Coast?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he became my brother. And I had support.
During that 8-month period?
Yeah. Well,
Even
there was that, yeah. So there was that, yeah.
There
was that. I had support during that period. But, okay, so when you want to die, and then you're granted your gift, you're granted a second chance, but you're almost like, okay, so here's death. Do you want to keep dancing, or do you want to go back to life? So, I survived that dance with the devil.
And do you feel like it was do you feel like it was your choice? Like that was an empowering
I just realised I came that close to death.
Yeah.
I just realised I never want that again.
Yeah.
I want life, yeah. I want to take another look at life.
And then that's when you
I had to start looking at it with different eyes, because I looked at life with different eyes. I looked at life with bad eyes. I didn't like life. Life didn't do much for me.
Yeah.
It didn't tickle my fancy, so to speak. Yeah. So
going through that process of rehab.
Yeah.
After you got out of intensive care, what happened?
Yeah, well, I just wanted to better myself.
Yeah.
I just wanted life to be better.
But you couldn't walk. What was actually happening? Did you have to stay at home?
Yeah, PlayStation. Love you. Bedridden.
For how long?
8 months.
8 months.
Yeah. Crutches 5 months. Wheelchair 3 months before that.
Yeah.
And then a walking stick for a month after that.
So the belief systems that you started to create going through that process, how did your self-talk start to change? What did you start to think about yourself? From that kid that thought you were dumb, thought you weren't good enough, thought you weren't worthy?
I don't necessarily think I started thinking stuff about myself, but I started to cry a lot.
Yeah. So
I started to realise, okay, so the reason why I smoked so much drugs when I was younger is because I hated people. Because people did a lot of nasty things to me when I grew up in primary school and high school. And I had a lot of unforgiveness in my heart towards many people outside my family and in.
Yeah.
You know? And I had to let go of that. I was like, look, my debt has been covered. I need to cover yours now. You know? I am loved. I am accepted. And I am worthy of love.
These are your belief systems
and kindness.
Yeah.
And so are you. Regardless of all the shit you did to me, I fucking love you, yeah? Well done, son. So I let you go. You don't have to pay no debt. You're free to walk out of here. Go and do as you choose and please. And if you want, come back and high-five me whenever you're in town. It's cool, man. Deal is done. You're forgiven. And I started to forgive people. And the release and the freedom and the peace And the joy that comes from that, from letting go of your baggage, from dropping those bags and letting them roll down the mountain.
Yes.
Like, bro, easy traveling, bro.
Yeah. So when you started to walk again,
Yeah.
you were you were in such a different place because you had spent this time like becoming vulnerable, letting go, forgiving, and you started like your new life essentially.
Yeah.
And how long was it between then and auditioning for Australia's Got Talent? So you auditioned when you were 30.
Yeah, it was like 11 years. Like, okay, so like it took a long time.
What was that journey like through the next 10, 11 years of your life? Because you had this new lease on life. You started to believe different things about yourself.
Okay. So I ended up doing a certificate 5 in ministry.
In the church.
In the church.
Yeah. So you went back to the church.
Yeah, so I hadn't left the church. I was 19.
Yeah. What about when you were bedridden though? Were you still going?
So this guy used to fight up my wheelchair.
Right.
And so many years later, I ended up doing a certificate 5 in ministry, and I became I could become a youth pastor if I wanted to.
Yeah.
But I'd rather become a world pastor. You know what I mean? I'd rather just like love people that are right next to me. You know what I mean? Don't need to go to some building. Not that there's anything wrong with buildings, but you know what I mean? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But blah, 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 let's move on. So I do this certificate 5 in ministry.
Yeah. At 21.
At 21. And I got offered a job as a street pastor down in Oxford Street, King's Crossway. And it was like, I was like 1 out of 3 that got chosen out of all these people. And now, if you're thinking that I'm some Christian with judgment in my heart, you're all wrong. You fully got me wrong.
No one thinks that, Tommy. I can
but
speak
love and good vibrations has always been
everyone.
my thing. In the LGBTQ community, they're my peeps. You know what I mean? I don't necessarily swing that way. Each to their own. It's all good vibrations here. Shuckers. Moving on. Didn't get the position, so I moved
Thanks
to.
For that.
Nah, pleasure, treasure. Yeah. Didn't get the position, so I moved to Byron Bay, aka this joint.
Cryptic Castle.
Cryptic Castle.
Welcome.
Welcome to the Cryptic Castle. So I left my razor at home, stopped selling suits, and polishing ladies' hands, and
that's what you were doing.
Yeah.
As a day job.
Yeah.
Manicures,
selling suits, working in cafes.
And being a pastor.
Scanning groceries, and then being a wannabe street pastor in the Cross.
What a ride.
Yeah. And then I moved to Byron Bay, man of extremes. And then a series of unfortunate events happened. And I left the church, and
Without having to tell the story, what was the deciphering factor that made you want to keep being a messenger of love and good vibrations and peace, but leaving the church?
The reason why I left the church was the judgment that I felt from people. Like I did some things that people would frown upon
within the church.
Yeah. And I came to my leaders, my pastors, and I told them what I'd done, and some of them were like they weren't okay with it, but they weren't like flogging my back over it. But others did, and I thought that they were a lot closer to me, and I thought that friendship was a lot stronger than that they wouldn't ridicule me like that, and I was just like, this is really crappy. Like, I come to you with my pain, and now you're just I come to you with all this baggage, yeah? And then you okay, hold on a second. Here you go, carry this, bang! And I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't walk around here. I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna walk away.
Yeah.
I'm not just gonna lie here and be crippled because of your judgment and your crap that you're throwing on me. I'm out, yeah. Time out, peace. Good vibrations to you. See you later.
Yeah.
So
how did that feel?
That was a sad moment.
Yeah.
That was a really sad moment because my church was my family.
But you chose to believe.
My brothers and sisters.
What were you, in your sort of mind and in your heart at that time, what were you choosing? Where were you putting your belief in making that decision to leave? In acceptance, in freedom?
I accepted my path. I accepted what I'd done. And I accepted what they'd done. It was strange because there were these moments where I felt like I was still being a blessing in the world.
Yeah.
Apart from,
of course,
being within the church.
Yeah.
And that made me feel really good about myself, and that made me realize that, you know, okay, whether you believe in God or not, you know what I mean? I do, and that's okay if I do, and if you don't, that's okay as well. But for me, I still felt really loved by God. Whatever name you give that God, I have my God, and my God loves me regardless of my mistakes. And I felt that on a deep level. And that's a strange thing. And that's why people do go to church, because they may have or may not have felt that. But blah, blah, blah. For me, I felt loved. And that was a really powerful thing for me. So I just had to continue on my journey, regardless of what people thought of me. And I didn't... Word spreads fast in the church, yeah, unfortunately. So everyone knew my stuff. And I didn't want to be that guy. So I just clean slate, I'm out. If you want to call me, you know my number. And I didn't get any calls. I got some calls from a couple of people, which I'm still very close with to this day. But yeah, it's like, the sad thing is people come to the church broken, and then the church goes, dress like this, walk, talk and act like this, and then we'll give you a membership card. But it should just be like, oh man, are you cold? Are you hungry? Do you want a shower? Come in, man. Take a seat. Relax. Like, welcome. It's very rarely like that anymore. You know? But I felt that. I felt that from the first time I went into church. I felt accepted and loved, and the kindness of strangers changed my reality. And so that's why I live like this now. That's why I want to be nice to everyone. That's why I want to pump. That's why I want to change the world one smile at a time. That's why I am the way I am.
So was that your motivation when you started to be like, I felt loved by God, I felt loved by Source, I still feel loved by God even though I'm choosing to leave the church right now and remain a messenger of that? Did that play a role in you wanting to pursue your audition, which, you know, went on to be reaching the final 12 of Australia's Got Talent?
Yeah, okay, so I didn't pursue the audition.
Yeah.
So I came to Byron Bay and I started dancing in the rain one day. The whole street
filmed it. Had you ever danced before?
Yeah, of course. I love dancing. I'm not waiting all week for the DJ to blitz it or cook it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I just throw on my headphones and just stomp the streets. Wherever there's floor, that's my dance floor. There's a lot of floor around the world. Yeah, just like choose a piece of it and start dancing on it. So I'm doing that through the streets, aka dorking, dance walking. And I'm dorking through the streets and it was raining this one day, and everyone's filmed it from all different angles, and I woke up and I was Byron Bay dancing, man. And ABC 3 kids came up. I did a show with them. Then the project found out about me, did a thing with them.
This is before your audition.
This is for Australia's Got Talent.
Well, I didn't know that.
And then Trop Fest. Then Trop Fest. I did a Trop Fest with these guys. Got in top 12 for that in 2012.
Yeah.
And then the year later, one of the producers of the show contacted my manager that I had at the time and said, look, we want Tommy to be on the show. He's called me and I'm like, I don't want to do that. He's like, why? I'm like, well, one, I couldn't choreograph my way out of a wet paper bag. I do not think when I dance. I just like plug in. Yeah, it was like being in the green room, yeah, like sitting on a barrel, big surging like circle of water out at sea, you know, like you shuckers on like toes on the nose type stuff. You're not worrying about your bills or any stress when you're in the green room, yeah. So when I get pitted on the dance floor. So like I didn't want to get judged for that. I didn't want to go on national television in front of these judges that had seen and done the best of the best in their field, in front of millions of people. You know, because dancing pulled me out of the grave. You know, that's how I showed my appreciation.
So that's what you were aligning yourself to during that time.
And so and so he's like, okay, I understand you don't want to go on the show, but even if you don't get through to the second round, it will be some publicity and you might get some more work from it. So I was like, okay, where's the dotted line? Because I had like 3-4 hour shifts a week.
Yeah.
Scratching through as most people do. So it was
almost like a survival, like I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, I'll just give it a shot. Why not? What have I got to lose?
Yeah.
And then I got to the top 12 out of 60,000 auditions.
7th.
I came 7th, yeah. Like, yeah, they just kept voting me off.
Brussels sprout.
Yeah, 7's actually my favourite number. That's really trippy.
7th on Australia's Got Talent as Salty Rain, the dancing man. So let's bring it back to beliefs, right?
Yeah.
From even just in that, let alone what you've gone on. Yeah, you're good. So 7th out of 60,000 auditions.
Yeah.
I just want to go back to the beginning of your story.
Yeah.
This little boy living on the Central Coast, believing he's not good enough, not feeling loved, getting bullied by his peers, to this intense intervention where you almost lost your life, you couldn't walk, you were immobile for 8 months, to then becoming like 7th in one of Australia's most renowned reality television shows. What were you believing about yourself by that point? How had those belief systems and that outlook on life changed from where you were at then to where you were at coming 7th in that TV show? And everything that came with that, including me being like, I want to be friends with that person.
I didn't really change much.
You still saw yourself as...
No, like, so it changed. Apart from Australia's Got Talent, that was like my mind frame had changed for the better a long time before Australia's Got Talent.
Because this is what I want to know, because in the book I talk about how it's not your circumstances that influence your belief systems. It's your belief systems start to change and you start to see life in a different way.
Yeah.
So as you started to see life in a different way, do you feel like that's the reason you started to attract?
Yeah, so like from this series of unfortunate events that happened in my life when I was younger, you know, like life is like this. You know, when you're lying in hospital, beep, 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 beep. It's up, it's down, it's flat. It's up, it's down, it's flat. It's up, it's down, it's flat. I still have my ups and my downs and my flats. So let's not like mistake that I'm like all happy. I'm the happiest man in the world, as media has said. You know what I mean?
Well, it's not.
You know, like I'm men. I
want these guys to have an insight, because your story is so moving and so inspiring, and I love you so much, and I can see, even though I haven't known you from that time you were a little boy, that it's a radical transformation. Your outlook on life and your outlook on yourself. It doesn't mean you don't have bad times. Like it's the same for me. I've got my downs, my lows, my dark times, but your fundamental perception and belief of life has shifted.
Yeah. And so my dancing comes from here. My body is an expression of my heart. You know what I mean? Of how I feel. Like, people look at me and they're like, wow, that guy's crazy, he's ecstatic, he's like fun, he's whatever you want to call me, he's gay, I don't care. Now, what you think of me, whether it's good or bad, isn't going to change my world. You know what I mean? What you think of me is none of my business. You know? Like, whatever. But it took a long time to become an overnight success. Yeah? Like, I've been throwing these shapes pretty hard for a long time.
Yeah.
And for the country to stand to its feet in applause, like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't run. Like, yeah, that was like insanely good moment for me in my life, but you can't just run on that forever. You know what I mean?
Cool.
Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I've been dancing for a long time, for years, ever since that. That's been my wage. I'm a dancer. That's what I do to get paid. It's a bit crazy. I've done some, you know what I mean? I've worked in a couple of factories along the way, to, you know, like to meet to put A to Z, you know, and join it together. But yeah.
So through because I think that's a really important thing, right? When you talk about belief and believing in your dream and believing that transformation is possible, that there have been times where you've had to take a step to the left, you've had to do something that you had to do, but it wasn't about quitting your dream and doing that. It was about doing that as a way to make your dream happen. That patience and having to continue to believe in that dream. And I guess for a lot of people, when it's not going right or exactly as planned, there's that temptation to stop believing, to become a non-believer. But for you have living proof that if you keep believing, you'll reach. It's only a matter of time before your dreams come true. So what would you say to these guys that maybe at a point, maybe they've found this body of work, maybe they want to do this program or read the book because they're at a point in their life where they're like, it feels so hard and I don't know if I should keep, believing. I don't know if this is real. This might all be like airy-fairy bullshit that only happens to some people but not to me. If there's someone listening to this right now thinking those things, what do you say to them? Because you've hit rock bottom.
Nicole, when I met you, the day I met you sitting out the back of that retreat, I'm like so blown away by you. You know, I'm like, you know who I am. I had no idea who you are. You know, someone told me about you, I got excited, I called you while you came out of a board meeting when someone mentioned my name. Like, it was eerie how we've come to this awesome connection.
Yeah, I think beliefs played a massive role in that, in both of our lives.
Yeah. But when I met you and you told me your story, like, it's just like determination, yeah? Like, you need to believe in yourself. Like, you just need to keep going. If you're good at something, you might not be the best in the world. I'm not the best dancer in the world, you know? And I don't think you'd claim to be the best at anything in the world. You know what I mean? Like, we've all got our skills to pay the bills. But I think you need far out.
So what is it though? Like, because I feel like I connect so much to where you draw from. Like when you say like dancing is my expression, it comes from your heart. Like,
I don't really.
I feel the same way when I get up on stage and I speak. It's the same for me. And what I would go through, like, I would live in a cardboard box to do what I do.
Yeah.
It's not a matter of...
Same. And I kind of do sometimes. Like, I'm a bit of a gypsy,
and there have been times, like, for me, living in my van for 2 years, like, no income, living off a sponsorship.
Yeah.
You know, but it comes back for me, and this is why it's chapter 1, it comes back to the starting point is you've got to believe in yourself. You've got to believe in your dream, and you've got to believe that if you want change in your life, that change is possible. And if you don't believe it, there's nowhere to go from there. You're stuck.
I think there was no other option for me.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't done uni. I haven't got a trade.
There's no plan B.
Yeah, there's no plan B. Like,
do you think that is the winning philosophy for anyone that wants to make their dream?
I think so.
Because
like,
I feel the same. There was never a plan B.
Yeah, so like my mum and dad got their son back from the grave, yeah? Like I got the serum from going from a zombie to a human child. And they got their human child back from zombie land. And then, like, you're joining the Air Force, you're joining the Army, you're joining the police force, you're getting a trade, you're going to TAFE, you're going to uni. And I'm like, no to A, B, C, D, and all the... And everything else, you know, all the others. I need to find myself. And I need to see myself down there. And, yeah, and so I just, like, I don't know, like, I'm happy doing this. Like, like what you were saying, you were living in your van, you had no cash. You know, but you wouldn't want to do anything else.
No way. Yeah.
So I don't want to do anything else. Like, you know what I mean? You got to suffer, yeah? Nothing worth having comes easy or free. You want to have a baby, darling? You're going to have to push that out. You know what I mean? And every woman that's had a baby, you know, has gone through a bit of suffering from pushing a baby
and
out.
That's what you
like,
believe
it's like birthing pains.
Right?
You know, like my happiness, you know, the penthouse of my happy tower
had to be built
in the foundations of some pretty dark, deep, depressing stuff.
I see it
had
as
to
like
hack through
roots,
some serious rock.
Yeah.
To put that fancy little twinkling tower up there.
And it strengthens your belief. Because the more that you've suffered for your art, for your love, for what you believe in, the more you realise, for me, I know the more I went through that, the more I realised nothing was ever going to stop me. I was unstoppable and there was no plan B. It's just plan A. Or nothing. Or die trying. Literally.
Yeah, well, see, I don't want to do anything else. Like, I'm qualified to scan groceries. I'm qualified to do hair manicures. I know how to sell suits. I know how to talk. I can work, I've worked in many factories, like, blah, blah.
Totally. What about the people that maybe they're, you know, in a job that they hate, but they're comfortable? In a relationship that, you know, that they're not in love, but they're comfortable. Like, people's attachment to comfortability, you know, and how that blocks them from really believing in magic beyond their comfort zone. What do you say, Salty Rain? What do you say to those people?
First of all, I'd rather be happy and single, than together and comfortable and miserable. Because it's easy to be comfortable. We all love being comfortable. Who doesn't? But
you can fall in love with the discomfort.
Sorry?
You can fall in love with the discomfort.
Yeah, well, I guess so. But
totally.
Yeah, so if you're not like, yes, me and you, babe, we're going out tonight.
It's got to be a fuck yes.
Yeah, it's either a fuck yes or a fuck no, yeah? Can't half-ass this shit.
No, same with jobs, right?
This is life. You only get one shot, one opportunity to your last life. You know,
Mum spaghetti.
Yeah, mum spaghetti. Knees weak, arms are heavy. Yeah, sweater, stuff.
Yeah.
Moving on. So... I don't know. Where do you want to be? What do you want to do? Like, do you have dreams? What are you passionate about?
What are you
passionate about? Figure it out.
And
practice the 3 Ps. Practice.
Patience.
Practice. What does practice make? Practice makes happiness. I didn't believe in the word perfect for a real long time, and I had my convictions about not believing in the word perfect. But someone helped me shift my consciousness for the word perfect.
And what does that mean for you
now? Perfectness, I almost said. Perfectness equals happiness.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Does that make any sense to you?
Totally, yeah.
Does it make any sense to you?
To be content and see it.
If you're happy and you're content, like, you know what I mean? Like,
it's all good.
It's perfect. But perfectionism is a curse.
Yeah.
You got to drop that real hot, real fast. Drop that hot brick.
Immediately.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So find your passion. Find your passion.
I love how many geckos I've heard through this interview.
It's quite good.
Geckos for me are like, yes, yeah. They're like a little symbol of...
The symbol of yes.
The fuck yes. Yeah, amazing. So... If you're in a job that you didn't like, if you're in a relationship that you're not happy in, if you're like Tommy and you're a 19-year-old punk that's dealing drugs, wondering what else there is to life, believing that change is possible.
Yeah.
Is connecting. From what I've heard you say, it's about taking the time to connect, to get to know yourself.
Okay.
That you've got to know yourself, you've got to know what's important to you. And then it's hard work. You've got to suffer for it. But on the other side of that is the dream, is the happiness.
Okay, so I've got a dream that I want to share.
Please.
This is a bit random side note. But it happened when I was 16. So, I'm 34. 16 was a while ago. Now, I'm starting to see parts of this dream become a reality. And the moral of the dream is keep moving forward because there's no other choice.
Like this is an actual dream?
This is an actual dream that I'm about to tell you. Okay, dream time starts now. I'm 16, I'm in a dream, I'm in a field. I'm near this archery field, I'm near football fields, there's a big bush, tall ghost gums, trees behind me. Everyone's doing this exercise where they shoot up into the air real fast, like the height of a telegraph pole, and they stop, and they slowly float back down to the ground. Everyone's doing it but me. I can jump, but I can't jump that high and that fast. Everyone starts bagging me out, as they did when I was 16. And I started retaliating as I did when I was 16. The teacher went psycho. We all shut up real fast. He comes up to me and goes, "It's easy, mate. All you do is you put your feet shoulder width, take a deep breath, bend your knees and jump." And did it. It's right up there. He's looking down at me. I'm looking up at him. And he's talking to me. And he lands right in front of me.
You have to believe you can do it.
Yeah? He looks at me and nods and smiles. A death ball. Every single person in that class.
It's intense.
Yeah? You can hear the bellbirds chirping. You can hear the ghost gums blowing in the wind. Yeah? Like full goosebump moment. I look at him again after I finish deathballing every single person in my class who hated me, vice versa. And then I look at this really nice teacher, Mr. Gray. Cheers, Mr. Gray, if you're out there.
This is in your dream?
This is in my dream. Yeah, we're not snapping out of dream time anytime soon. Okay? Yeah, stop asking me that. Thanks, babe.
It's very real.
I know, it's hectic. Very real dream. Here we go. This was the first out of 4 hectic dreams that I've had throughout my life that I will never forget and has singed into my mind. So, he looks at me, I do the exact opposite of what he says. I put my feet shoulder width, I bend my knees, and I take a really long deep breath. And then I jump. Before I know it, before I can even blink, I'm at least 3 times higher than they were, way above the tree line. And I'm looking down at my class, and I'm going up real fast. It takes 8 minutes for the sun's rays to burn your precious little sun, to burn your precious little skin through space. 8 minutes on the clock. Yeah, through space. I'm going up. I'm going up.
Is this a fact or is that just in your dream?
This is a dream, yeah?
No,
but this is like interpretation. How do you want to interpret this, babe? Like hectic. And just as I said before I started telling this dream, I'm seeing parts of this dream become a reality. So I'm going up, and there's this dome of neon light in the middle of the desert, and it's going, and I don't know what's out there, but there's something out in the desert, because the oldest DNA that scientists have found comes from Australia. So, anyways, I'm going up, yeah, and the desert is glowing. It's the biggest thing you've ever seen. The desert is huge. Takes 7 hours on a plane to get across from east to west. Blah, 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 moving up. Moving on. I'm going up. And the world is the biggest circle as far as the eye can see from north, south, east and west, and it's right in my grill. It's the biggest thing I've ever seen. And it's slowly getting smaller.
Because you're going so high.
Slowly getting smaller. I'm just going out. He didn't say anything about stopping, yeah?
Yeah. The teacher.
The teacher. He said, put your feet shoulder width, take a deep breath, bend your knees and dump. I put my feet shoulder width, bent my knees, and then took a really long deep breath. Did the complete opposite of what he said. Anyways, so I'm going up, and eventually Earth was like Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, How I Wonder What You Are, that Mozart wrote when he was 7 years old. And then Earth disappears. And there is darkness, and there is nothingness for as far as the eye can see. And the silence will empty your soul. And the best way that I can describe this feeling that I had was death. And I felt that shit. I wanted that shit when I was that age. The teachers warned other teachers about me because they saw signs. And there's no way I'm going back. I don't know how to go back. I'm gone. I'm out there. And there's comets. There's like meteorites. 3 times the size of Earth just slowly cruising past me. And I'm shooting out. I'm going into the darkness as fast as light. There's no G-force. I'm chilling on a couch, yeah? Like I am. Through space. And eventually, after a really long time, through the darkness, through the death, I see these twinkles and these sparkles of little dots of colour, which Earth used to be a fair while ago. Yeah? Hello, Roxy. Hello. And so these sparkly colours turned into what I describe the sparkling rainbow octopus. So all these sparkles of dots and colour, like a NASA photograph, yeah? Boom. Filled the skies with space. And it got bigger and bigger and bigger the closer and closer and closer I went towards it. But it was the most magnificent sight that I have ever to this day seen. I've seen a lot since I was 16, and nothing will, I don't think, ever top this. But it would take me at least 4 hours or 4 years to get there. Time and space kind of not really relevant.
And you knew all this in your dream?
Yeah, so I was in my dream. I knew it would take me ages to get there. And I didn't have that much sleep under my belt. So
was it lucid? Were you aware that you were
this is a long time before I heard about lucid dreaming.
Yeah.
Or flat earth. Because between the time I went through the blue and the white and the black, there was no point where the earth went and started to curve. It was a plate. Now, I'm not here to debate or argue or headbutt with you or anyone about whether Earth is flat. Whether it's flat or round, who gives a fuck? We're here, right now. Let's get along, yeah? We don't need to argue about bullshit.
Just tell me the significance of the dream.
So the significance of the dream...
You've got 8% on the battery, so do you want to wrap it up or do you want to...
Yeah, wrap it up. We've got 8% on the battery. The significance on the dream is I felt death. I went through really hard, dark times by myself alone.
Yeah.
In space.
Yeah.
For a while. And everything that I knew and loved was gone. And I didn't know how to get back. All I had to do was keep going. I had no other choice.
Yeah. And is that what belief means to you?
That's what belief means to me. I just need to keep going.
Yeah.
There's no turning back. There's no other option. There's no other home. Yeah? Well, there is, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I see the sparkling rainbow octopus. You know what I mean? I see the beautiful stars. I see beautiful stars in my galaxy. You know, like you are a beautiful star in my galaxy. I see you. You know what I mean? And I see amazing things happen in my life. Yeah, there's darkness. There's dark matter and there's light. There's quantum physics. It's all science, man. You know what I mean? There's a balance, delicate balance that keeps us all like flowing. But yeah, I just had to keep going, and that's what I did, and that's what I continue to do. You know what I mean? It's all like mountains and valleys. You know, I'm on a mountain right now, but that mountain over there is pretty good. I want to get to that one, but first I've got to walk down this one. and across that valley. And then I gotta walk up that freaking thing. So this is life, people.
There's a quote in the book, Tommy Franklin, before we finish up this interview.
Yeah.
The quote is a reframe of, you know, the saying, seeing is believing.
Yeah.
I reframe it to believing is seeing.
Oh.
And I have this saying that I live by myself, but I also talk about it in the book. And there's a saying that's commonly known, which is seeing is believing. But I kind of believe that it's the other way around. I believe that that believing is seeing.
Yeah.
And, you know, you've shared so much in the past hour, which I'm so grateful for. And I just love you, and I love your story. And what you've been able to overcome to be who you are today for your friends, but also for the whole world and for yourself. And I guess to wrap up, you know, everything that we've explored, what do you have like just final sentence, final couple of sentences for people at home that, you know, they might be looking to the external world to find, you know, like they have to see it in order to believe it. But like you've talked about, just having no plan B, just having your plan A and believing in it so strongly, and eventually it will manifest. You'll live that reality if you believe in it for long enough and hard enough.
Yeah.
What are your final comments for people that maybe they haven't found that magic yet?
So for me to have a plan A, I had to find my passion.
Yeah.
Plan A should be to find your passion. And then once you found your passion, follow the 3 P's. Practice, practice, practice. Practice makes what? Practice makes happiness. I didn't believe in the word perfect for a long time. Perfect equals happiness. Perfectionism is a curse. Find people that you can be vulnerable with. Find people that you can let the tears sit and dry on your cheek. You don't want people going, oh, they're there, it's okay, it'll be alright, stop crying. So, yeah, you need people that are cool with your happiness and your pain, because we all have it, yeah? We've all got the balance. We all have our good times and our bad times, from the rich kid to the poor kid. So there's that. And
what does this mean to you? Love out loud.
Love out loud. What does love out loud mean? Well, like, I think, you know, we should love people at all times, you know, even without, like, you know, we shouldn't have to speak to show people love. Like, we need to do it with every essence of our being. Loving out loud. I think you got to love yourself first and love yourself. You know, find the reasons why you're lovable, because you are lovable. We all have our dirt, you know what I mean? But we all have our gold underneath. And lots of people, they see someone and they will judge them for, hey, how you going? What do you do? Where do you live? And they're going to wrap you up in the 2 answers that you have. And I think that's wrong. I think it should be, hey, how you going? What are you passionate about? So it's like, you know, if you dig in dirt for a little while, you will find gold. And I know that people reminded me of my dirt. But there were people that came along and helped me see my gold. So find your gold.
Thanks for loving out loud, Tommy Franklin.
My pleasure, treasure.
And you guys, if you don't already, follow this amazing human being. Tommy Franklin Smiles, on a mission to make the world smile, and I know that you've made a few people today smile, so I love you, brother.
I love you too.
And let's keep fighting the good fight.
Yeah,
and loving out loud.
Yeah. Amen.